We've got Jared in Seattle. Thanks for waiting. You're on with John and Matt. How are you?
Doing great, thanks. Should I shut down the actual audio from the show?
Shut down anything that you're not actually needing to listen to when talking to us.
Okay. I did it. I'm with it.
Yay! So, go ahead, talk to us, Jared. What's going on?
You know, I honestly am a longtime listener. Tracy is like my girl, but to be fair, it's been a while since I've been listening. So my concept here is the generalization and the positive feedback loops that come from atheism and the anti-theist movement.
We still haven't reached a point where I understand what you're talking about yet, but I think we're closing in on it. I was looking at the call screen.
Well, essentially it's a general. I feel like we're leaning on a generalization. And so for me, my father being a conservative Christian, I'm looking at my left-leaning sort of atheistic principle. And so as I listen to Matt, now I consider those things like, so I'm wondering how much of this I generalize due to an emotional reaction of my father.
I still genuinely don't know what you're talking about. I'm not trying to be obtuse.
Generalization. Yeah, generalization. That's what I mean is how much of the argument leans on a generalization.
What argument? What generalization?
From the theistic or atheistic perspective. Because for me, let's say on skepticism, for either learn from Matt Dillahunty.
Can we just start? No, this is getting us further afield. Can we just start with?
I'm listening.
I'm just really trying to figure this out because you're asking, are we starting with a generalization? So
That's what I'm wondering is.
What? No. Let's stop.
I'm listening. I apologize. I'm listening. I apologize.
When callers call in, when callers call in, I want to know what they believe and why so we can address it. I'm not beginning with some generalization at all.
Oh,
I'm not beginning with a... Everybody's got their own... Oh my fucking God, I'm done talking. Go ahead, John.
No, for real. I strawmanned you.
No, for real. You just interrupted me 18 times in one sentence, so I'm going to stop. Go ahead.
No, I think even me interrupting you means I'm strawmanned, and me even saying I'm listening defies that. I think you're absolutely right here. And honestly, I apologize. I did not mean to make it like I am too passionate here, but I do want to get to my point at the end of this, but I certainly did, and I'm listening. Please ask where you think I could zero in on what you're asking, and I will do my best.
Okay, maybe we could start off with like an example of one of these generalizations that you're talking about when you're discussing, I guess, any particular topic, because you're not really, you're just giving us the general topic of atheism, so I'm just wondering if you could give an example of one of these generalizations.
Yeah, so I guess I've seen things having a fault line, right? So concepts can have like a sort of a station kind of leaves out that concept. So what I'm looking for is I believe that the teachings of Jesus are valuable. So as someone who sort of spitefully deflected against my father's teaching, I'm trying to be... You kind of thing that's where I'm like, ugh, like I hate doing that because I want to give you that framework to help me understand like where, like, conversation. Because because I don't want to straw man him as well. So for me, I'm asking, how does the teachings of Jesus on our feelings of Christianity and its dominance, like how we generalize God? That's it. So for me, I feel there's a lot of value in it, but generalizing it keeps us repulsed by, does that make sense?
I mean, I don't know if it makes sense to Matt. I'm not exactly following. What I did hear was that you feel that the teachings of Jesus Christ can be valuable in our lives, I guess, for some kind of framework in which to, I guess, act or view the world.
Well, that's why I wouldn't want to generalize, so I don't not see the value in something just due to how it's been implied in my personal life, which is
which teaching of Jesus is valuable, and how do you know it's a teaching of Jesus?
So for me, the teaching of Jesus would be more along the line of something where you can attribute to the golden rule. Where
golden rule didn't originate with Jesus. It's not even, Jesus isn't even the first one in the Bible to talk about the golden rule. What teaching of Jesus is valuable, and how do you know it? And how do you know it's a teaching of Jesus?
So to be fair, I see what you mean, but what did Jesus come up with in the story, in the myth of it, which was a championing of the meek, of the people that just play checkers and not chess. So I'm trying to be the chess player, looking out for the checkers player in that scenario, saying, I think there's something that they're finding in it that we're looking deep or reaching into, make a mountain out of a molehill based off of personal perception of it, like usually within the realm of the family, the father or the mother dominant. And like for us, it's going to be a power struggle, correct? So at this point, I'm seeing if Matt or whoever is part of this is still a struggle.
I'll give $5 to anybody in chat who can tell me what the fuck you're talking about.
I mean,
I will pay $5 to the first person in chat who can accurately tell me what the fuck you're talking about.
Jared, it would be helpful if you asked a question and then allowed us to maybe answer, because you ask, you say you seem to ask a question, but then just continue on talking. So, you sort of let me kind of hang myself there, because at what point were you going to find what I was saying like worth talking about? That's what I mean. Is like if you're just looking for a low hanging fruit.
I think what he's saying is the Bible is a framework for dumb people, and for smart people, we're looking too deeply into it. Like, we need to just stop getting caught up in detail.
You acknowledge that regardless of your chess playing abilities, the people that play checkers, what can we say to them? We're generalizing.
All right, I'm going to interrupt here. Jared, I apologize if you think that I was rude, but I genuinely tried to listen, and I just watched... Shut up. I just watched everybody in.
Goodbye.
All right, goodbye. Since you can't stop interrupting. I'm bad about interrupting, but I do it on shows, and I do it for a reason, so that somebody doesn't talk for 5 minutes. And then when you point out what they said that was wrong at the beginning of the 5 minutes, just gives them a chance to completely start over. But I just sat there and watched everybody in chat. Nobody has a clue of where this meandering conversation is going. I wanted to find out if there's some value here, but all I heard was checkers, chess. Are we looking too deeply? Yes, Jared, you are looking too deeply. I don't know what you're looking too deeply into.
Well, I mean, we still never got like an answer as to what a generalization that he was talking about was, because then he starts going into the teachings of Jesus, and it's like, how is that how are we generalizing the teachings of Jesus? I don't know how any of that applied anyways.
If there's somebody in chat who thinks I owe them $5, feel free to email me, sans.deity@gmail.com, and you can explain it there. And the first person to do it, genuinely, $5. Or I'll donate $5 to your favorite charity. Because it's one of those things where I'm genuinely trying to understand what somebody's saying. And I'm not an idiot. And I've had a lot of conversations, and I can generally suss out something, or I can formulate some kind of question to say, do you mean this? Are you talking about this? And with Jared, I could get no question to pop into my head that was going to get us any clearer to anything. That's why I was like, let John handle it. And then all of a sudden, John, it was so awesome, because I was sitting here looking at you, and I can just see you going, your eyes start glazing over, and you're like, how come I got stuck with this guy? And I apologize. I don't mean to beat up on Jared, because maybe Jared had a great point, but we're gonna move along.